So you've been planning your CowProfits analysis for quite a while now, and you're probably thinking it's time to get to work on your own analysis. But before you do that, you really should set the program defaults. So let's flip over to the program and see how that works. If I go to File, Set Program Defaults, I get this pop-up screen. And let's work at it from the top through to the bottom. So CowProfits has an autosave timer that saves your work every few minutes, and that's in order to help you recover from any crash or any problem you might have had with your file. So mine's set for 10 minutes. I'm going to set it for 5. 10 is quite a while. So now let's look at the default file folder. By default, it's going to be set at Users, Public, Farms. And that's a good place to save your data. And the only time it isn't a very good place is if you want your files to be a little bit more secure, because all files in this public directory are open to everybody. So if you want to keep them a little bit more secure, you could go to this icon here and see if we can change that. So right now we're in C Users Public, but let's look under Users, and here's my own personal sign-on directory. It's called TED ACES in this case, and I can make that my default directory. Also, I have another directory set up as CowProfits files, which I probably would use here. So if you haven't set up a directory, you can always add one right here. So I could add another directory here called CowProfits files 2016. And so if I hit OK here, it will say this directory doesn't exist. You want to create it? And I'll say yes, I do. So now my new default directory is TED ACES CowProfits files 2016. And this is available only to me or only under my sign-on. So next we need to look at changing the startup file. CowProfits has one file that when you fire up the program, that file will always start up. It will always be there. And in this case, it's mystartup.cxl, and that's in the public directory. So I could change that by selecting Farms, and then I'll go to Windows Users, TED ACES, and then I'll go to CowProfits files, and I'll choose this file right here as my startup file and open. So now I've changed the startup file, and from here on in until I change it again, this file will come up anytime I fire up the CowProfits program. Next is the reset button. If you click this, it will change all of these settings back to the original default value. So now we'll save the defaults, and that's about it. Although one more thing, there is another way to change the startup file. And so if we go File, Save as Startup, this allows us to save the file that is existing currently, the current file within CowProfits, to save that as startup. And so that's TED's test file, October 19th. I'll save, and now that will be the startup file until I change it again. Okay, next time you're going to start configuring CowProfits for your own analysis. That's it for this time.